Action.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year to you all. The first episode of 2022, episode 8 here on season 2, and the boys are back in town.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Hey, what do we got on the show today?
Hey, so on the show today, we got Ryan Kumpf and Bobby Lincoln.
We got two guys from the US 30 Speedway in Columbus, Nebraska, along with talking about what we're looking forward to in 2022, and yeah, it's going to be a great show altogether.
Great show indeed. I'm kind of excited for it.
So am I. All this and more coming up next on the Announcer's Booth Podcast. How is everybody doing? It's been a while, little over a month since you've heard our lovely voices here on the airwaves on this nice Wednesday morning, and you heard right, the boys are back in town. We took some time off. Evan had surgery, and he's doing very well. At least I think you're doing well.
I'm doing great.
Doing great. And of course, you know, it was the holiday season in December, so we decided just take some time off, spend some time with family, let you have that surgery and recover a little bit, and things are going very well for you, as I see here. So
They are doing... Doctors are happy. PT's happy.
Good.
I'm happy.
Good.
Got my next checkup coming up this week, so should be able to start walking here soon.
Happy. A little bit bored, but happy.
Oh, I'm going insane, but we're doing it.
We are definitely doing it indeed. So glad to be back here with you, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, it just feels good to be back. We did a live event yesterday at the Racers Winter Swap Meet in Columbus, Nebraska. And we saw so many of our good friends in and around the area here. Got some great interviews. We're bringing you 2 of those today as well. And just what we're looking forward to in 2022, we picked up a lot of information. And 2 guys are on the show today, be Ryan Kumpf and Bobby Lincoln, both of US 30. Ryan does some other tracks as well. Bobby being the owner and promoter at US 30. Had him on the show last season, but he has done a lot of stuff and upgrades to US 30. And
has also a little bit of an announcement in his interview.
Yes, we will let you in on that secret later. But, you know, you and I, last time we were at US 30 was in September for the Abe Lincoln Memorial, and it had been a while since I had been there, but just the upgrades and updates and everything that Bobby's done to that track is just wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I know he's working on some more improvements and upgrades, and
He always is.
I think it's going to be an even better track.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, the racing is always great. The racing is not changing. It's not going away. It's just as good as it was from day one back there in 1986. And, yeah, just updates to, like, you know, the grandstand area, concession stuff. There's even new stairs that are now going from the pits to the grandstand, so you don't have to roll down the hill, essentially.
Thank goodness.
Yes, because that hill was a little steep.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit indeed. So I know we're going to hear from Bobby as well, and then I'll hear from Ryan, one of the voices of we're at US 30, on what he is doing and how everything has been going for him in the off season, and a special event that is not only near and dear to his heart but ours as well, coming up at Boone County Raceway in Albion, Nebraska in July. So yeah, we just have a great show today as well, and Evan, it just feels good to be sitting here right next to you, actually, you know, doing the show and just having you here in person instead of being over the phone.
It is so much better in person than trying to do this over the phone.
We've been trying to make arrangements to where we could do this sitting next to each other, because usually I'm at home in George, Iowa, and you're at home where we currently are in Norfolk, Nebraska, and yeah,
it sounds so much better in person than over the phone.
It does, and I feel like you and I can interact a lot better though too.
Oh, absolutely,
absolutely. And while we're recording this, we are also live on TikTok as well. If you'd like to follow us there at the Announcer's Booth Podcast, and yeah, we just have some fans checking in, and yeah, just seeing what we are all about. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. So, 2021 season is done. It is the off season. It is after January 1st, the new year is upon us, and Evan, it's crunch time.
It is go time.
It is go time, and everyone's like, yeah, race season, you know, is 3 months around the corner. Before you know it, opening night's going to be here next week. So,
oh yeah, I feel like a lot of people are like me. Oh, I got time. We got time.
Yeah, why not?
Opening night's next week. It's what?
We still got to get the motor in. We got to get the body mounted. We got to work on scaling the car and everything. And you and I have both been there.
More times than not.
Multiple times and more times than I care to admit. So, no, it is crunch time. We were at the swap meet, like we said yesterday. A lot of vendors and
There was a lot.
I think that is honestly the most chassis builders I've ever seen.
I'd have to agree with you.
At a swap meet. And that's the fun part about it is, all these chassis builders are there talking to one another. Racers are walking around going, hey, that looks cool. I'm in the market for a new chassis, and just checking out each and every one. The Front Stretch radio show was there as well. A lot of different vendors for parts and memorabilia. Some die-cast cards, some license plates, one of which was stolen from me.
I did not steal it. I graciously took it from you and claimed it as mine.
I think graciously is an understatement, but we'll let it slide for now. We'll let it slide. So that's just so many different vendors and parts and chassis up for sale yesterday, and making trades as well. We had some great interviews, just to name a few. Like we said, Ryan Kumpf, Bobby Lincoln on the show. In future episodes, you will hear from TJ Milkey, our good friend, dearest mother, Nate DeSivey, as well as Jim Scott and Anthony Ainsley. Anthony, of course, being the voice for the Malvern Bank Super Late Model Series, as well as how many different tracks?
All of them.
Yes, that'd be a good one. Yes, all of them.
Every track that I've ever been to, he's been there at least once announcing.
Yeah. So him and I have that in common. He's on the road a lot. I'm on the road a lot. And Evan, you're just...
I'm
here.
there.
Yeah.
I'm here, there, and everywhere.
Here, there, everywhere, and gone. So, no, you will hear from them in a few later episodes as well. So, 2022, what are we looking forward to here? I know you and I talked about this yesterday with a couple of our guests off air. And, 2020 with the whole COVID-19 deal, we couldn't get a lot of racing in. We did get some in, but not a lot. 2021, the bounce back season, and now here with 2022, a lot of great things happening, whether it be touring series making their schedules. We have some shows coming up that are really, really big. Third time a charm, hopefully for the Dirt Crown series.
I'm hoping so.
I'm hoping so too. That they're going to try a third time. Of course, in 2020, could not make that happen. 2021, Mother Nature decided to literally rain on our parade.
They did.
So hopefully this year they'll be able to get that tour in. And another announcement, which we will not share on the show today, but another announcement coming from the Dirt Crown series. And Dirt Crown Promotions, excuse me. Scott Angel would have my hide if you heard that. And that announcement is huge.
That is probably about the biggest one you could ever imagine.
And let's just say a lot of drivers are going to be happy.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yes.
It's about to be huge.
Yeah, and they're doing great things. Robbie Marsh and Scott Angel, of course, with the Dirt Crown Promotions, putting up this wonderful tour and series. So check them out on Facebook if you can, Dirt Crown Promotions. They even had a concert with Granger Smith at US 30 last year as well. And
they did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to stay.
I wasn't able to go either. So
it was, boys, we've been here all weekend. We're going home.
Yes.
So, aye, Captain, let's point that ship north and let's get going.
So, yes. And, a lot of good things coming in 2022. Touring series tracks releasing their schedules, seeing some big events happening. Everyone says this, next year's going to be better. Next year's going to be bigger. You're not going to be able to top this. I think 2022 is going to top previous years.
I believe so.
Hands down.
I would have to agree with you.
Yes. So we will get into that a little bit later. We do not have a question of the day today. We were going to post one.
We were.
And we got busy.
And Evan forgot.
No, I wouldn't say you forgot. It just, we got busy.
No, I forgot. I 100% forgot.
Okay, well, I was.
Then you're like, "Hey, do we have a question of the day?" I was like,
"Well,
we were supposed to."
I was going to say we just got busy doing what we do best, and that's talking.
Oh yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that.
Yeah. So, we will not have a question of the day today. Although we do have a question for next week, though.
Yes, and we're going to get that made.
Yes, we are going to get that made. We'll let you know here, though. So we want to know for next week's episode, what was your favorite moment in the 2021 racing season? What's yours?
I'd have to say helping my buddy put a car together in 2 weeks, and he wheeled that thing from almost last place, and I think he ended up 5th or 6th.
Yeah. Yeah, Steck did a good job.
On a car that probably shouldn't have been ran after we found out what was wrong with it.
Well, you know what they say. Sometimes when they get bent, they drive faster.
A bent car is a faster car.
Exactly.
And it was bent in the right places.
That it was. I'd have to say my favorite moment from 2021 would have to be announcing the legend Kelly Shryock. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do not.
So he used to run with the United States Modified Touring Series.
Okay.
He's been racing for a number of years. The night before this show, he had won his 500th career feature.
Wow.
The next night, on a Friday night in Britt, Iowa, at Hancock County Speedway, I was there filling in for Chad Meyer, who announces a few different tracks in my area back home. And Kelly went to Victory Lane in the modified.
Wow.
And Kelly was racing stock car and modified that night. So to announce his 501st career win and interview him at the end of that race, very, very humbling to say the least, and my favorite moment from 2021.
That'd have to be up there. Yeah.
Yes.
I bet that would be.
I asked him, I said, Kelly, you're here at 501. Out of all the races in your career, did you ever think you would make it this far? And he looked at me, he's like, Scotty, I didn't even think we'd make it to 5, honestly.
That's a humble race car driver.
Yes. And so, and he's still racing, so he's going to be racking up a few more here in 2022.
Hey, that's the only thing. That's the only way to go.
Exactly.
Keep doing what you're doing.
So we want to know what your answer would be for what was your favorite moment in the 2021 racing season. Check all of our socials for that, as we will be posting that online on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook as well, and Twitter. Cannot forget Twitter. So Announce Booth at Twitter. On TikTok, you can find us at the Announce Booth Podcast. Announce Booth Cast on Facebook, facebook.com/Announce Booth Podcast. And they will be posted there in just a couple of short days. We're going to take a quick break and hear from the people that bring you the 4 Orange Salvage question of the week and 4 Orange Salvage. And right after that, we'll get into more about what we are planning to do, not only for the off season, but for the upcoming season as well. And then dive into the interviews from Ryan Kumpf and Bobby Lincoln right after this.
Evicted tenants leave a mess behind? Have an old appliance that you're tired of staring at? Yard waste, branches, carpet, old furniture, other discarded items you just want gone? Well, 4 Orange Salvage can take it all away. Call Jamie at 605-376-8532 for a quote today, or you can find him on Facebook by searching 4 Orange Salvage-Junk Haulers. Contractless payment through Venmo or PayPal is also available. Quick, easy, and affordable junk hauling. 4 Orange Salvage. We pick things up and we take them away. Serving Sioux Falls, South Dakota and surrounding areas.
And welcome back to the Announce Booth Podcast presented by Rapid Graphics and 4 Orange Salvage. Cannot thank them enough, Jamie, for what he does, not only in the racing world, but picking things up and taking them away if need be. He's actually coming by my place here to help me pick things up and then take them away for me. So if you're in the Sioux Falls and surrounding areas of South Dakota, be sure to give Jamie a call if you need something hauled away, and he will be more than happy to work with you. So like I said, no question of the week this week, but we have one for next week. And once again, that is, what was your favorite moment of the 2021 racing season? Be sure to comment on the socials when that video comes out here, which I'm sure we're going to record it right after we get done recording this here. So
you would be correct.
Yes, it's going to be both of us recording this. So very, very, very happy to be back on the air with you, Evan, and to you, the race fans, for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. And we do have to say a big thank you right now to our, I've said producer here already today. Ma is sitting here listening to us talk and ramble on, and I apologize that you have to listen to us, but thank you for letting us do this here. All right. So 2022, we talk, it's going to be bigger and better. I know that gets redundant, but I really do believe this is going to be a better season after having the bounce back season in 2021.
Yeah, 2021 it bounced back.
Yes.
A lot better than I think anybody thought it was going to.
But I think 2022
But now we're turning the notch up
Yeah.
till about 11.
Yes.
And let's get this party started.
Let's get the party started indeed. So I know you have some plans of your own for the off season and then for the 2022 season. What are your plans going into this year?
This year, I'm still up in the air. I got a car sitting out in the garage. Might put it together, try to get out. Might not. I don't know. Got some family vacation coming up and a buddy's wedding. So
You're busy.
I am busy. This year's going to be very busy and very expensive.
Racing is
And
expensive.
it's not even on the racing end of it.
Yes.
Just expensive altogether.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, no, it's going to be a busy year for me too. Picking up 2 tracks where I left off in 2021, Buena Vista Raceway in Alta, Iowa, and the new Raceway Park in Jefferson, South Dakota, home of Sunday Church in the Dirt, South Dakota style. And then I really haven't kind of announced this, so I guess this
Do we get an announcement?
I guess this would be the announcement here, I guess. I have been in talks with Mike Gross from the RepairableVehicle.com Tri-State Late Model Series, professional regional series in our area. They travel all over within the Quad State region of Minnesota, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Iowa. And I am being brought on full-time as an announcer and as a tech official and whatever else Mike needs help with. So glad to say I am going on tour this summer with the series. Helped them out a little bit last year, announced a few of their shows, helped in the tech area with Mike, helping him with whatever he needed done. And for those of you that do not know Mike Gross, he is the tour series director for the RepairableVehicle.com Tri-State Late Models. This guy does a lot. He has some people that help him out, but he does a lot, and just cannot say enough about the guy. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And he is the touring director. And since he took this over in, I want to say 2018 was when the Tri-States first came out. They've been getting better and better every year. The racing is phenomenal. Evan, I know you've seen a few shows when they've been down here to off-road.
Yep.
Some of the locals here in town have run with them.
Yes, they have. I've actually, Steckelberg's ran with them back when he had a late model.
And
so they've been getting bigger and better every year.
Ben Sukup, I believe, a former champion as well with the Tri-State Late Models.
I believe.
I think. Well, don't quote me on that.
Don't quote us, but I believe so.
Yeah, I know he does have a few wins with them, and Ben is one heck of a late model driver.
He is. He really is.
Knows how to make the little motors work with the big motors.
Oh yeah, he does. And even the other local guys down here, in my area,
Osborne's, Dumpert,
they put up a fight.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
It's not a
Caleb Jasperson.
We're not going to just sit back and let these big boys run all over us.
Nope.
No, this is our home track, and they're going to earn it.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about the series is they are so inviting. The series is, and if anyone has any questions, Mike tells them, hey, pick up the phone, give me a call, I'll talk with you, and we want you to run with us and to have fun. So because I know a lot of times in this area, late models are a weekly occurrence at the home tracks around here.
Oh yeah, they are. It's known to be there weekly.
Back home, late models are not a weekly occurrence, at the track over like in Minnesota and South Dakota and Iowa, unless you're running with Soda.
Correct.
They have late models that run weekly, but for like USRA, IMCA, there's really no like late model just class that gets run at a track weekly. So really great to for what Mike is doing and just building that series up and just making it better and better every week and every season. So cannot wait for opening night for that. We kick off the series opener at Park Jefferson Speedway in Jefferson, South Dakota. That would be April 23rd is opening night for the Tri-States.
That's pretty close to home for you.
Yes. Right across the road from one of my home tracks, actually.
You mean right across the road?
Right across the road.
Wow.
You have Park Jefferson, 4/10 mile track, and literally right across the road, right next to the interstate, is the new Raceway Park.
So I could drive my race car from one track to the other?
People have done it when there have been 2-day shows back to back, because Park Jefferson runs on Saturdays and Raceway runs on Sundays.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, very good thing to know.
That's awesome.
Tell Steck that.
No.
He's probably already knows now if he's listening in.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, that is happening in 2022. And, great things happening. I know you're going to be traveling around a little bit with stock car close to home here with Steck. Like you said, probably might might get used on the track, might not. It's
I don't know. It's up in the air.
like you said, racing is expensive.
Like I tell everybody, they're like, well, if you need help, I'll help you put it together. I can put it together. It's the motor.
It's just buying the stuff to put it together is
buying the motor. Like that's a lot of money.
yeah, that's the most expensive thing. The heart of the operation.
Yes. And you pay for that heart.
Yes, even if it needs a transplant every now and then. So, we hope you get out, but if you don't, we'll see you around at the racetracks, though.
If it's not this year, I'll be around. I'll be pitting. I'll make my appearances where need to be made.
We'll be live on the road, I'm sure, a few times, even though we take time off from this in the season because you're busy in the shop. I'm busy on the road.
And you still think you're getting me on a mic at a racetrack?
It might happen.
Mom's sitting over here shaking her head yes.
It might happen.
I'm shaking my head no.
I mean, the late models are coming down for the Bob Haase at Off-Road Speedway. So, we can sweet talk Jimmy in a little bit and say, hey, give this guy the mic for the hobbies.
Hopefully I'll be racing.
Well, hopefully. Well, even if you are racing. I've done it where I've raced and announced on the same night. So,
can I announce stock cars?
Ask Jimmy.
Wait, I want to flag the stock cars.
I don't. That you'd have to ask the flag man. I have no idea who flags off road anymore because I think
I don't even remember.
I think the guy retired. I think
I do know one person that's getting the black flag immediately. I might just happen to be crew for him.
That is between you and him. Oh, man.
See how much he yells at me that night in the pits.
Right. So moving on, we're going to take another quick break here. Hear from our title advertiser in Rapid Graphics. And just on the other side of the break, we're going to dive into the Sodak iRacing Series phone lines. And we're going to talk to one Mr. President, I should say.
Mr. President.
Bobby Lincoln, owner and promoter at US 30 Speedway in Columbus, Nebraska. And we will talk more about that right after the break.
Rapid Graphics, located in Rock Rapids, Iowa, on the corner of Highway 9 and 75, specialize in graphics and signage of all types. They specialize in indoor and outdoor signage, banners, commercial vehicles, custom logos, race car graphics, and much, much more. Rapid Graphics have the tools to get your job done, and you can find them easily on Facebook at Rapid Graphics 12. For more information, contact Rapid Graphics for all of your custom graphic and signage needs today.
So back here on the Announcer Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. And yes, Blake at Rapid Graphics does a phenomenal job at everything he does. Like you heard, decals, race car wraps, canvas prints, even T-shirts. He does T-shirts too. The man does it all.
He does.
He made us a banner even, and he knocked it out of the park.
If anybody was down at the swap meet yesterday, they seen it.
Yeah.
I got compliments on it. They really liked it.
Yeah. After we got it.
After we fixed it.
After we got it positioned in the right.
I'm on crutches and can't really maneuver that well, so it wasn't looking too hot at the beginning.
And Scotty just has a poor deal for design,
and we were
positioning
extremely tired.
Yes, we were only running on like 2 hours of sleep. But that's a different story. Story right now, though, is we're going to dive into the Sodak iRacing Series phone lines and hear from a guy who. How would you describe Bobby?
Mr. President himself.
Yes.
And before we dive in, like we said earlier, Bobby's making a big announcement.
Yes, he is. Do we tell the people now, or do we?
Oh no, it's got to come from him himself.
It's got to come from the horse's mouth himself. Bobby, I apologize for just calling you a horse. The man has an incredible sense of humor. Mom's laughing over here now too. And
are you gonna be okay, Mom?
If you know Bobby Lincoln, you know what we are talking about. Bobby is he's one of a kind. He really is.
He really is.
And the start of this interview, you will hear laughing, and that's because we were laughing probably about 5-10 minutes.
Oh, we got about 5 minutes of just waste time of us just dying laughing.
Just trying to get this interview started. So we had Bobby on last weekend. He talked a little bit about the track. Now he's going to dive into some of the updates that he has been making at US 30 Speedway, and he is also going to be making a big announcement, which you are not going to want to miss. So without further ado, here is the interview with one Mr. President and Bobby Lincoln. Coming in the announce booth now, track owner, promoter, just an all-around great guy to be around. We've been laughing for about the past 5 minutes here, just trying to get this interview started. And, of course, it wouldn't be talking to none other than the one and only Bobby Lincoln from Columbus, Nebraska here. Track owner and promoter at US 30 and Dawson County Raceway now in 2022. You are a busy man.
Yes, sir. We wanted to, I'm good friends with Chad Dolan, who's ran the track out there at Dawson for the last 3 years, and no one was stepping up. Chad needs to retire for private reasons, and him and I have been talking and stuff, and I was like, you got such a great thing going out there. I don't want to see another track close. And so the wife and I decided to step up and take it over, and things are looking really good for out there.
Out there in Dawson County and there in Lexington, Nebraska. And, I mean, you don't have a full schedule out, but you got a few dates on there. And with 2 tracks running, so you got Thursday and Sunday now. And then I know sometimes you do a couple Friday, Saturday shows here and there. And Abe Lincoln Memorial, in my opinion, one of the greatest 2-day shows in Nebraska, which Evan has been a part of it. I've been a part of it. Both of us have raced it. It's paying homage to your dad, who built US 30 Speedway. What does it mean then just to close out each and every season with that special?
My dad was my heart. He was my best friend. Anything I could ever do to help people remember him, remember his craziness. A lot of people say I resemble him both physically and with my sense of humor.
I would say so. I did not know your dad, but I can only imagine.
Well, and the funny thing is there was a picture that came up on the internet this week, and it was a picture from the old Bomber Sportsman Nationals at Donovan back in the early 90s.
Wow.
And there was a picture of my dad, and they had circled it, and they says, oh my gosh, if you look, he's eating a bag of his own bag of popcorn. If you knew my dad didn't buy popcorn. My dad ate out of your bag, out of that bag. The year he passed away, the last 4 nights of the season, we actually sold our popcorn at half bags. Kind of like how you put a
right.
Yeah. But we sold the popcorn at half bags because he would always be there over your shoulder to steal it. And so I put a comment on that. I said, I don't know who's standing around him, but somebody just lost their bag of popcorn.
So you mentioned selling half bags of popcorn because it was just, because of your dad. And the interesting thing, like I know with the Abe Lincoln Memorial, you guys do a redraw system for that 2-day show. And it's usually on the second night, I believe, you guys do something crazy with your guys' redraw. And that was always your dad's thing, from what I've been told, is your dad always had something crazy up his sleeve for a redraw.
Yeah, he had some of the most wildest, kookiest, whatnot ideas, and they always worked. That was the part I loved about him, is no matter how wild and crazy and off the wall he got, he made it work better than anybody else could have.
And just to keep that, tradition and everything alive, I think is great, though, too, because it's not only entertainment for the fans as well, but, for the drivers and just for the whole track staff in general, and just keeping that memory alive.
Yeah, it's something that definitely needs to be kept alive as long as the track is in the Lincoln family name.
And with the track being a Lincoln family name, I know you guys have been doing a lot of upgrades at US 30. Last time I was there in September, just putting in new stairs, going from the pits to the grandstand. I think there was a hand railing that was about to be put on there when I was leaving. I know you've got some other big things going on over there. What other upgrades have you done over there at the US 30?
Well, when you come up that staircase now, off to your right, there used to be grandstands there for about 25 people. Now there's grandstands for 600 people.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And, I mean, it's 44 foot wide, 18 rows high.
Oof.
Actually, you might remember this, Scott. You know where the pit speaker is up on the back of that light pole right
Yes.
there? We actually have to move it because sitting in the top row of the grandstand, you're literally staring at it.
Oh, goodness.
That's how high in the air you are. I mean, it's not Eagles Turn 1 high rise by no means.
Right.
But this is, for the pit guys and whatnot, and it gives them all a place to sit, place to stand, place to watch from.
I'll be sure to turn the mic down just a little bit the next time I'm in the booth.
We're going to move that.
Moving it completely.
Yeah, we're going to move the speaker.
That is awesome. And just the track has been in existence since 1986. I was going to say 85. I was close. And it's one of the great places to race at. I mean, and you guys, normally tracks run, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. You guys run on Thursday Night Thunder. What's behind the whole Thursday deal?
Well, the biggest thing that started it all was we were on Sundays, and cars were just slowly starting to dwindle away because, your Friday nights you was at the time it was Beatrice, Saturday night at Eagle and whatnot. By Sunday, you were broke down.
Yep.
You either crashed, blew a motor, got claimed back in them days. And we were starting to lose cars and stuff. And Columbus is a big production city. We have 4 really big manufacturing plants. And that year, they all went to 4 10-hour days. So all of a sudden, Thursday now is Friday. Thursday is the day they all go out drinking, they all go out to party. And we just all kind of scratched our heads and went, wait a second. This is your first shot at that money. So we took the gamble. We went to Thursdays, and it's probably been the greatest thing we've ever done.
And that's coined the phrase Thursday Night Thunder then at US 30 Speedway. And I know you've told me this before. It seems like, you get to the track, there's really not a whole lot of, people there in the stands. But as soon as that national anthem plays, and the track by no means is not in town. You're outside of town a few miles.
3 miles out of town.
But that national anthem must carry into town because people go, oh, hey, there's races tonight.
Yep.
And it seems to be standing room only each and every week.
Yeah, and I've laughed about that for years because it's been like that since we opened. You may have 50, 75 people in that grandstand. You start that national anthem, and you can just stand up in that tower and watch from that point on. Every car coming from town for the next hour is pulling in, and by the second heat race, you got them hanging out of the rafters.
You really do. And just the track has produced some great racing. You and your daughter, Danielle, do all of the track prep. And honestly, I don't think I've heard one bad thing about your guys' racetrack when it comes to track prep. Where did that come from just to keep the racing surface nice for the guys and gals that come to it?
I take that clear back to my father. He taught me a lot about dirt and the things that, what it's going to take to make a good track. We worked together for the 9 years that he was with us, and then we had some off years, and then I left doing that for a handful of years, and then when we bought the track 4 years ago, I had said I'm going to do it my way, the way Dad had taught me.
Right.
And since then, we have not had but maybe a minor ripple once a year in the track. Outside of that, well, I'm going to tell you, trying to think of the kid's name, drives a hobby stock, come up to me after the Friday night of the Abe Lincoln Memorial this year, says, hey, Bobby, can I get 2 laps on the track quick? I says, you got third in your feature. I'm just curious, why do you need laps? He says, I don't know if my shocks are working. I said, what do you mean? He says, they only traveled a quarter of an inch. I said, oh, no, it's just the track's that smooth. And he goes, that's what I'm afraid of. He says, I've never seen a track not not sit there and bounce you and whatnot, that you can just go into the corner and it's just smooth.
And not rubber down.
No.
We're talking complete, smooth, dry slick.
Yes, we're talking glass top to bottom, 5-6 wide. You know, the track itself is 105 feet wide.
Plenty of room.
Oh, plenty of room.
Plenty of room. You can have road grader races and pitch it sideways going into turn one.
Not that we don't do that on Tuesdays.
Not at all. We have no idea what you're talking about. So now taking on Dawson County Raceway this year as well. What are some of the things you guys are doing out there to keep racing alive in Lexington?
Well, first of all, and I've said this a handful of times, Chad was doing it right.
Yes.
Chad everything was great. We're not tipping the apple cart. We're going to run the same thing he had last year. We're going to try to run the show as close to the same as what he ran it, because he was doing it right, and all we're doing is taking over for him.
So just changing hands per se. Same show, just under new management.
Yep. 99% of the track officials are going to be the same people you saw last year, years before. Try not to change anything, you know, to let what Chad started keep going.
And keep racing alive in Lexington there. And, yeah, I said 2 tracks this year. You've got a lot on your plate. I know the day job gets a little tiring at times too. Yeah. How you do it, I don't know. And I got to commend you for that. But, no, great things coming out of Nebraska. I know one thing we're looking forward to this year, hopefully third time's a charm, and the Dirt Crown Tour.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully. I told him, you know, when we first sat down that very first time talking about it, I says, man, you're going early into March.
Yep.
You know, the weather's iffy. I says, it's either going to make or break. It's either going to work or it's not. Unfortunately, for 2 years, it hasn't. Then we tried to do the fall show, and I felt so bad for him that night. You know, we had 100-plus cars in the pits. It was raining, misty that whole day.
Yep.
Danielle and I worked our butts off to get that track as best we could. 8:05. Boosh, here it came.
There it came, and there the show went, unfortunately. So hopefully third time's a charm. You mentioned Danielle, who helps you out a lot with track prep, but all of your daughters, they're working hard each and every race night and really keeping it in the family.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, a funny short story. When we went to buy the track 4 years ago, we sat the girls down, and the one thing I've always said is I don't run it as a dictatorship. We all have our say-so.
Right.
And I said that this is what I wanted to do, and I asked the girls their opinions, and Danielle raised her hand, and she says, I'd love to learn what Grandpa had taught you, because she missed Grandpa by 2 days.
Right.
Yeah, we buried Dad on Wednesday, and Danielle was born on Friday morning, so.
Wow.
I mean, and she's always, you know, so I've taught her, and unfortunately I think I've taught her too well, because sometimes I think she's better than I am at the track prep and whatnot. But she does all the, you know, she can grade, water, sheep foot, whatever needs to be done. And then our youngest, Sam, she runs a score tower upstairs with the transponders, My Race Pass, all that.
And I don't know if I should say this or not, but the real boss, your wife.
Oh, duh.
She works a lot of behind the scenes, making sure drivers are signed in, get paid at the end of the night, and just making sure the whole show is running smoothly as well from back behind the scenes. And just how much is it then, you know, just what does it mean to you just to have the whole family involved? Because racing is a family sport.
Racing is a family sport. I'll tell you this, though, and I'll even admit it on the air. She's my rock. She absolutely everything I've ever wanted. You know, again, outside of running the road grader and stuff, my wife can do everything. You know, she makes sure all the concession stands ready, the beer stands are ready. Like you said, helps drivers get checked in, paying the drivers, paying the help. You know, I even know a few times you come up and helped us and whatnot. And
Yep.
I told you, don't look at me for money. I'm the other side of that fence. I don't make payroll. I don't do payroll. I don't touch money. So, yeah, she's everything.
It really is. And I mean, if you have not been to US 30 or Dawson County and you're looking for a place to race this year, check them both out on Facebook. US 30 Speedway, Columbus, Nebraska, Lexington, Nebraska, over there at Dawson County Raceway. And find Bobby. One of the, and I will say this too, one of the best promoters, track owners I've ever worked for. And I've been to a lot of tracks here in the Midwest.
Make me blush, Amy.
He's trying to.
But no, you were doing an awesome job here, keeping racing alive here in Nebraska, and just I think I speak for a lot of the drivers and crew and everything, and track staff. We cannot thank you and your family enough.
Well, I appreciate all the kind words and everything, but it's just something we've loved to do our whole lives, and
It's never going to change.
no, I hope it never changes.
So be sure to check them out on Facebook. Like I said, Dawson County Raceway in Lexington, Nebraska, US 30 Speedway right here in Columbus, where we are live from. And yes, good luck in 2022 here at both tracks, and we'll see you on down the road.
Thanks, bud. You too, Bud Light.
Thank you.
So once again, Bobby Lincoln there, and the dude, I don't know what else to say about the dude. He's awesome. He's great.
Half the time I couldn't even talk because I was laughing the whole time.
I was having a hard time trying not to laugh and be all serious and asking questions. And it's just the facial expressions he makes when he's not talking, just trying to throw you off the groove.
You're
and
sitting
everything.
down there being professional. I'm sitting at the other end of the table dying laughing.
So yeah, no. For those of you that do not know Bobby,
He's a great guy.
he's a great guy, and you're gonna want to wish that you knew him. And Dawson County Raceway in Lexington, Nebraska, keeping racing alive there. How about that?
That's pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome indeed. And I honestly, for this area, could not think of a better guy to step up and take the job.
I couldn't either. Like he said in there, he's going to keep it the same track, keep
Same
almost
program.
the whole same crew running it. It just changed ownership into his hands.
Yeah. Under new management
Yes, under new management.
for Dawson County Raceway. And yeah, I need to make it down there one of these days, but my Sundays I'm already committed. But hey, if we get a rain date.
I have not been down there. Steck went down once.
So you haven't been down there either. Okay, now I don't feel so bad.
Steck's been down there. Definitely needs to go back down and redeem himself because it was not a good night of racing.
Hey, you win some, you lose some. So, but
Oh, he lost the transmission that night. He
Oh.
definitely lost it.
I know the feeling, So, yes, no, be sure to check out the Facebook page, US 30 and Dawson County Raceway on Facebook to stay up to date on what they are doing. And Bobby, congratulations once again, my friend, and best of luck in 2022. We're going to take another quick break here and hear from the Sodak iRacing Series as Season 2 is wrapping up. And we will be right back and hear from one Mr. Ryan Kumpf. Stay tuned.
The Sodak iRacing League is the premier iRacing league for drivers, crew members, fans, and sponsors in the tri-state area around South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota. From street stocks to super late models, modifieds to sprint cars, the Sodak iRacing League does them all. You can follow all of their seasons live and free on Advantage Racing TV. For more information, look for Sodak iRacing on Facebook or join the league by searching for Sodak under the Leagues tab on your iRacing account.
Back here for the House of Food podcast presented by Rapid Graphics and Sodak iRacing Series. Another great season from them here just a week ago. And man, cannot wait to see what Troy has up his sleeve for next season.
Yeah. Like I said in previous shows, I was going to try to watch one. I've watched a couple. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's different announcing for it, I will say. But Sean, whose voice you heard in that last advertisement there, yeah, he is
You guys had some fun this year.
we did. The times that I was able to make it, working 2 jobs is kind of tough some nights to make races. I know there was a couple times I was sick too, but no. Always love working with Sean, and it's great. And by the way, Troy Shores, if you are listening, congratulations on the birth of your firstborn child, I believe. I want to say so. Yes, congratulations on that to you and your wife, and we hope to see you out at the track this summer as well.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
I have no idea who that is, but congratulations and hope to see you out there.
Sprint car driver with the Midwest Sprint Touring Series, and the
Gotcha.
man be the brains of the operation behind the Sodak iRacing Series.
Gotcha.
So
You
congratulations.
said sprint car, and I didn't know who you were talking about.
Yeah, Evan's not he's not big into sprint cars. He just really doesn't know much about them. So
It's not that I don't like them, but I don't like them.
at least you're honest. At least you're honest.
I'll watch them, but I won't run the track if they're running.
Fair enough.
Because I'm a guy that's got to go. We got to go.
And
Those sprint cars don't have starters, and that's not go.
Well, and speaking of going, we're going to go right into this next interview here. And our good friend Ryan Kumpf, we had him on the show last season too with Bobby Lincoln, ironically. So no, this time Ryan sits down and talks with us about what's going on in 2022 and how he got into the announce booth himself, as he is an announcer at a few different racetracks, and talking about a special event near and dear to our hearts, which we will talk about after this interview and hearing from Ryan Kumpf. So making our way into the announce booth now. We've had him on the show before with Bobby Lincoln, as you heard from earlier, and actually one of the voices over there at US 30 Speedway, also Boone County Raceway. You are just on a mic, whether it be your day job or your racing schedule as well. I mean, you just love a microphone that much, Ryan, or?
Well, that's just kind of what pays the bills these days. Yeah, radio during the day. I think by the end of the year, I was announcing at 4 racetracks, and now I got another gig designing race wraps. So pretty much my whole life is announcing and racing. Right.
Of course, we're talking about none other than Ryan Kumpf, like we said, a voice of, like you said, just 4 racetracks at the end of the year in 2021, and Demon Decals, if I remember correctly. Is that who you're designing wraps for?
Yeah, Damon kind of got a hold of me. He put a Facebook ad out this past June or July, asking, hey, if anyone is interested in working part-time. Like, I thought I was just going to be doing like some overlays and stuff like that. He's like,
right.
Hey, would you want to do some designing? Because I started doing some iRacing wraps for my brother and a few buddies the last year or so, and I think he saw some of that, and I was like, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool, to be honest with you. So I'm like, I've always kind of had an interest in the design and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been doing that since I think July. So it keeps me busy.
Keeps you busy indeed. And I mean, but to do it as well for a lot of the racers that are in this area that you get to call their races each and every night.
Carol Shockley's car right there, I designed that.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the first cars I ever saw on the racetrack that I actually designed. That was pretty cool experience. Like, wow, I actually did that.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
So were you behind the lean green machine of Jeff Ware then too?
No. Jeff gets the true treatment along with you. Look at that. That's nice.
How you doing, Bobby?
You never know what happens at a swap meet, okay? It's a swap meet. It's like the Catalina wine mixer.
We had Bobby on earlier, and it was about 5 minutes of just pure laughter before we could start the interview. That's
just Bobby, though.
It is just Bobby. So, I mean, with you being one of the voices of US 30, what's it like working for a guy like Bobby, who's just got such a great personality, a really old, kind soul, and really thinks about his employees there at the track?
Well, he treats me well. Us announcers, we're off in our own little world, but he makes it a point to make sure we got everything. I think you know that from announcing there too. But like you were just saying, he messes with you a little bit, but he's a great guy. He's fun to work with. A lot of people probably don't ever get to meet promoters and stuff like that. I mean, some of them you gotta be careful with sometimes, but everyone that I've worked with has been fantastic, whether it's Albion, Columbus, Chad Dolan over at Dawson County Raceway last year, Delmer Friesen at Junction Motor Speedway. Most of these guys are great people, and they get yelled at a lot during the races.
Yes.
So actually seeing them away from the track and just kind of let loose a little bit is kind of refreshing.
Right. Everyone's got to let loose once in a while.
Well, especially when you're a race promoter, it's like I always say they're like the umpires, or the referees at a ball game. All they do is get yelled at. There's never someone's always mad at you, but they work their tail off to do their job and give you guys a place to race when you guys race. And
exactly
stuff like that. So no, it's pretty cool.
Exactly. I mean, then there's just more to it. Like we were talking with Bobby, track prep, sponsors for different nights and the classes and whatnot. But then making sure, like you said earlier, making sure the announcer knows everything. Hey, can you say this and this and this tonight? Or, hey, we got something special. This is what's going on.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Even talking about Bobby, speaking to him for this year, I mean, I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing 2 racetracks this year. And, taking over at Lexington, too. That's a jaunt, So
right.
I asked him, like, how are you going to ever keep up with that? He's like, I'm just going to be at the racetrack every day. I mean, that's pretty crazy, but that's awesome to see someone step up. And, Lexington, they support the heck out of that racetrack.
Right.
That's actually one of the funnest places I've ever worked at because the crowd gets into every race. They have their favorites. They cheer as loud as anyone. And that place is packed almost every week. And the cool thing is they have fun. I think they're the only track I've ever been to. They actually don't serve alcohol there.
Really?
And like some tracks, you get a lot of people that are having fun drinking and stuff like that. It loosens them up. These people, loud and proud, and not a bit of alcohol in them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just goes to prove you don't need to have alcohol to have fun.
Evan's not a welcome, though. I'm sorry.
As he takes another sip of his Windsor Canadian.
Hey, that's just Coke, okay? It's fine.
It's just Pepsi.
Yeah,
okay, you're a Pepsi guy.
Yeah, Diet Pepsi because diabetic over here had to bring the drinks today. So, but it does happen. It does happen. Speaking of happenings, unfortunately, we did lose a racer in early on in 2021. And Tanner Pelster, driver of the 11T stock car, the first annual Tanner Pelster Memorial at Boone County Raceway. And I heard a lot of great things about the race, but just being the voice of that track, from your perspective, what was that night like paying homage to the driver of the 11T car?
That was probably one of the most special experiences I've had at a race. I've seen a lot of big events. I've been out to the Duel in the Desert in Vegas. I've been down to Texas racing. I've been to a number of different states and a number of different events. But this, I was working the event, but that was one night I just kind of took a step back most of the night and just tried to enjoy it and just take it all in. I've never seen the grandstands that full before. I think we had people standing 3 rows deep on the top balcony because there just wasn't enough seating. I think we were like over capacity, probably 1,000 people.
Wow.
I hate to say that. And then the pits were full. I think in 3 classes we had almost 130 cars. We had 55 stock cars, like 50 hobby stocks. And the appreciation for the Pelster family was amazing. And what really took me back, too, was, this was supposed to be at the beginning of it, like a 1,111 win show for Tanner. And with like a week left, I was at a tractor pull here in Columbus at this very same building that week before. Then all of a sudden, message, I want to donate. Oh, I want to donate. Oh, I want to donate. I think I watched 2 hooks in a 4-hour tractor pull that night because I was just looking at my cell phone of people just marking down who donated what.
Right.
And by the end of it, there were so many people that donated. That thing turned into a 5,000 to win show, like 400 to start, something like that. And that was also 1,000 to win hobby stocks when it was originally supposed to be like 400 or 500 to win. So the pouring support for that race, not only from the drivers but the racing community, was just something I've never experienced.
And some big names too, like in the stock car division, coming to support that as well. Dallin Murdy being one of them, I heard was there.
Yep. Chance Hollitz was there. We had guys from Colorado, Kansas. Casey Woken was there. Jesse Sobbing actually won the event. He and Tyler Iverson, one of our local runners, they were going head-to-head for most of the race, but Jesse got the end of that one and picked up $5,000. And, that's the toughest field of stock cars I've ever seen in this area. And that was I think that was the highest-paying stock car show in the state last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show just the amount of support and everything that, I've always said this, though, too. When the racing family comes together, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And just to come together in a support like that to remember Tanner, I honestly wish I could have been there.
Well, it's one of those things, too. You've always had support for specials, especially memorial races, but to see this amount of people come together and throwing their own hard-earned money out for, we gave everyone that we could a name mention on Facebook at the racetrack and stuff, but that just goes to show you, the kind of kid that Tanner was as a person, because just your average Joe that maybe people didn't necessarily like, they wouldn't have got that kind of recognition like that. But one of the things we are adjusting this year, we are taking donations again, but it's not donations, we're actually selling sponsorships this year. And so any person who wants to quote unquote donate but actually sponsor the event, we're giving you obviously name mentions at the races. We're giving away all sorts of tickets throughout the year. There's a whole list of stuff we have on our Facebook page. Just follow our Facebook page if you're interested in sponsoring that race and you want to find out more information how. Just go ahead and message us on Facebook. We're giving a bunch of stuff away to the actual people who do sponsor the event. It's not just, here, we'll take your money and put it towards a person. We're giving every person something back for doing that this year. That's one adjustment we've really made.
That's really awesome. What is the date of that?
Yeah, so it's going to be, it's actually, normally we run on Friday nights starting at 8, but that is our Sunday, July 10th show. It's a part of our fair, and it actually kicks off the Boone County Fair.
Gotcha.
And so that is going to be a Sunday night show. Normally we start at 8. This will actually be a 6 o'clock start time. We'll have the stock cars, hobby stocks, sport mods this year. And then one cool thing, you've actually, I think, seen them maybe a time or two. Have you ever seen the A-Class Micro Sprint Series? Kind of like what runs at the Tulsa Shootout?
Yes.
We're actually going to have them a few times this year, and that's actually one of the shows they're going to have there. So that's a pretty big track for those guys to be speeding around, but they get some speed, so that'll be pretty fun to see.
Yeah, because that's a 3/8 mile track, isn't it?
Yeah, and long straightaways, so they're going to be carrying some speed in the corners.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but good to see another track picking up the micros, because I know these guys have to travel usually just to race. So another track bringing them in, that's awesome.
Yeah, and one of the other shows we're really excited about is actually the week before. It's like a big 2-week stretch we're having. Friday, July 1st, it kicks off the 4th of July weekend. The first time we've ever had the Lucas Oil National Sprint Series, the ASCS National Tour. So we're expecting at least hopefully 24 cars there, like Blake Hahn, Seth Borgman. We'll have like Jack Dover, Stu Snyder, Tyler Drucke, hopefully all those local guys there too. But I think this is the first time we've had a national tour in Albion since like 2008. I think we had the World of Outlaw late models. But since then, it's been a lot of regional series, so we're pretty excited for that.
Pretty excited indeed. It sounds like you guys got a lot going on over there at Boone County, and I know a lot going on, different upgrades at US 30 that are happening this year too, like we were talking with Bobby. So sounds like you've got a lot of mic time, we'll say.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just like you're like, oh, I had over 100 dates last year. It's people are always like, well, how do you do so many nights? It doesn't feel like work. I mean, do you guys feel like you're working right now doing this? I mean, you're talking racing at a swap meet, having a cocktail. It's like you get paid to go race and talk about racing. It's pretty cool.
It is, and it's like the song says, find something that you love, but don't call it work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I went into radio in the first place. I was too small to do sports, but my biggest thing was sports. So, like, what's the next best thing? Well, I'm just going to go talk about it. And so, like, I always tell people, it's one of those things where the two things you do most in life, you're going to sleep and you're going to work. So you better have a good bed and a job that you enjoy.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what my mindset has been.
Yep.
So
I had struggles in racing, so now I just talk about racing and just like you, get on the mic and call what you see and educate.
Well, see, I like how it's coming full circle. So, you got Evan here, so he is like your protege. You're teaching him the swings. People have taught you the swings, so it's just going to keep rotating back and forth. But we got to just get you over at the racetrack announcing a little bit, see what you can do there.
I've told him that, and he's like, I don't know about that.
This whole interview.
I told you, I'm sitting back and learning. I got two legends right here.
I don't know
I'm
about
soaking
that.
it in.
You're kind of pushing your luck there with legends there, buddy.
What do you got? Is this your guys' first time at the swap meet?
I've been here before, but this would be my our first time doing this at the swap meet.
It's a pretty fun thing. I'm not much for like looking at the parts and stuff, but I just go and people watch and talk and stuff like that. It's like a big community event.
So I was at a different swap meet last weekend picking up schedules just from all the tracks in my area because I'm 4 hours from home. So I'm picking up schedules from my area so I can start putting my schedule together and, okay, I've got this night off, How can I fill those? Because I live at the racetrack during the summer. Let's admit it. So now here, second week in a row, but now we're actually, got this here, and I'm sure we'll be on the road again with the podcast soon.
Hey, I love what you guys are doing because there's just not enough of these. You got you guys, you got a few others like the front stretch. I talked to Dan and them; they're great guys too. But like, I think that's something that is missing in the sport of racing, just enough media coverage. Streaming has really come on. Like, obviously, you guys been really involved with Advantage Racing TV over the years. You guys do such a great job with that. But, trying to get more exposure. ESPN, they talk basketball, football all the time. We need more of that around here. Like, you guys do a great job of highlighting local drivers and stuff. So I appreciate it from not only from a fan perspective, being able to listen to it, but also from, helping promote and stuff like that.
Right.
This is a great tool for us to use as well. So.
And that's why, when I started this in 2020 and bringing Evan on just within the past year, though, too, it's, you see a lot of podcasts do, like, the big names, with sprint cars and late models, but, like, there's really nothing for local racing. The front stretch, they do an amazing job, and, they cover a lot, down in this area. We try to cover stuff back, where I'm from, but also try to bring down to Nebraska, though, too. And, just keep local racing alive.
I wouldn't say you guys just specialize in local. I mean, you had Dustin Jarrett on. That's pretty sweet. I listened to that whole thing. I mean, that was an awesome interview. So, I mean, that's a name right there.
Well, Dustin Jarrett and Rick Eshelman from the World of Outlaw Late Models.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's with that episode, Evan and I were talking, it's like, we just want to have just like a grassroots racing going back to, because everyone started somewhere.
Yeah.
And, those two guys are, you're talking legendary status, Evan.
Yeah.
Those two guys are right there. And with Rick being inducted into the Hall of Fame for late models this year in 2022, Dustin Jarrett just a couple weeks ago, Vado Speedway, his 300th track in his career.
You know how crazy that is? So I talked to Dustin when he comes around to track. He's a really cool guy, by the way. He's not one of those guys that's just arrogant. Dustin is one of the greatest guys in racing.
Yes.
But so I was announcing at Junction this last year. It was just some random weekly night.
Yep.
And I think they had like the SLMR up at Off-Road, and he's like, yeah, I'm over at Norfolk, but they're pushing the show pretty quick here because we got rain coming in. I'm like, you guys still racing at Junction? I'm like, yeah, but it's just like a weekly show. We got, obviously some average car count and stuff.
Yep.
He's like, okay. All of a sudden, he texts me a photo of him just sitting in the grandstands. It's like a feature time. I'm like, you just drove from, Norfolk to McCool Junction, south of York. That's like a 2.5 hour drive. He just drove to pick up another racetrack. I mean, that's 2 races in one day. That's something I've never done.
I was in the concession stand at Wagner Speedway in Wagner, South Dakota, and I hear a voice say, yeah, I'll have the pork chop sandwich. And I was like, I know that voice. What is Dustin doing here? I mean, this is Wagner Speedway. I mean, that no big deal or anything tonight. Just like you said, regular weekly show. And we had kind of crossed paths, but we had never talked. Yeah. So I went and introduced myself, and he knew exactly who I was, and we talked for probably about a half hour.
Yeah.
And he said that was the best pork chop sandwich I've ever had.
That's awesome. Yeah,
so,
he's more a race fan just as much as anyone else is.
Yeah.
Like I've even asked him, like, hey, you want to come on and talk a little bit? He's like, no, dude, I'm on my off night. I just want to chill out and watch some races.
Right.
So that's awesome.
I asked him that too because they were trying to get the track rolled in the night that he was at Wagner, and I said, I really hate to ask you this because I know you're got a day off, but we're trying to kill some time. Would you want to? He's like, oh yeah, sure,
yeah,
not a problem.
Yeah.
So then, like I told Evan, I said, with having him and Rick Eshelman on. Because Rick travels too when he's not racing.
Yeah.
So he does the same thing Dustin does, and I was like, I think that'd be good. It's like, I don't know. Do you think we can get him on? Mm-hmm. All you can do is ask.
Yeah, that's the first step is always asking.
Yeah.
That's right.
So just to have guys like those on that really relate to the going back to the grassroots is really awesome. And like I said, we all started somewhere.
Well, I think we were talking just before we came on here, like you just starting out, you started at one racetrack, and then all of a sudden now you're over 100 nights, and it's in 3 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just with the 2 schedules, the 1 track and the touring series, I've got like 53 nights.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is going in my 3rd year of announcing, and I'd never would have thought. And honestly, Evan will tell you this too, I don't think I'm that good of an announcer.
He says that all
every
the time.
person who's an announcer says that about themselves, though.
It's just, it's just humbling that when you go to a swap meet, you pick up 9 schedules, and 5 of those schedules are like, hey, could you announce for us full time?
I think that's like the biggest compliment I could ever have as an announcer is someone asking me to come do an event.
Right.
Because obviously they got to think something of you in order for you to come there and do it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, earlier, Bobby Lincoln, I'm 4 hours away, and he's calling me, It's like, you have other guys that are closer. Why are you calling me? It's exactly what I told him. He's like, I want you.
So this brings up a good point if we got enough time here on the show.
Yeah.
This needs to be a little bit of a recruiting pitch. We need to get some more younger guys involved in announcing races, because us guys, like we said, we're picking up 50, 60 nights. A lot of that's because there's just we do a great job.
Yes.
You know, a lot of the guys out there, but it's also, there's just not a lot of voices out there to go around. When I am, like that night, I was sick, you know.
Yep.
So he had to call a guy 4 hours away to come announce the race. So if there's any young kids or even some older, it doesn't matter the age. This is the beauty of this. You can be 70 years old and talk about racing. If you know what you're talking about, you can do the homework. If you're interested in becoming an announcer, just talk to your local racetrack, see if they can fit you in or something, because like we need some more voices in our line of work.
And when you're at the races, listen to your local announcer.
Yeah.
That's how I started, just listening to the guys that I was at the track each and every week, and I kind of picked up what they were doing, and then I just started my own thing, and
I think that's something that I really wish we could get, like some sort of like a training program
Right.
going for kids who want to become announcers, because like I have a heck of a time trying to find any sort of the guys that got me into racing are starting to retire, so like there's just not a lot of kids my age. I mean, I'm 30 years old. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a kid, but like there's just not enough.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, exactly. But there's just not enough, you know, people interested in doing that, or maybe I just think they're not good enough, or just that's if you've ever had the notion of wanting to do something like this, just talk to someone and see if they try to fit you in. I'm willing to train people. I think that's a great opportunity for us to get some fresh meat in a little bit and help us out. Not necessarily even have to be on a full-time basis, but like if I'm sick, I can't come. So it's like I don't know what to do sometimes. So.
Yeah, I've been right there with you, and he can attest to this too. There's been times where I've had no voice left.
Yeah, you're doing 4 nights a week. That's a lot. And then you're traveling 2 hours to a show.
Yeah.
You know? Then you got to wake up the next morning, go to the next one.
4 nights full time last year, and then there's just the different people that were calling me on my days off and saying, "Hey, we need someone."
Yeah.
What time do I got to be there?
Yeah. No, so I guess that's the biggest thing is, you know, trying to grow our sport. You guys do a great job doing this. I don't know. What else you guys got for me?
I guess with the announcing deal, what is your favorite, tagline or catchphrase that you like to use when announcing? That you don't think about, it just comes out.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like sometimes I don't think about it. It's just said, so I don't know if I even remember half the stuff I say.
I had one on iRacing a while back, and I actually remembered it, and I screen recorded it, so I'm going to be using it this season. My co-announcer, Sean Neisted, who's the voice of Houston Speedway.
Yeah.
We were just calling a race, and he would. Do you watch TikTok at all or YouTube?
YouTube, not TikTok.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the guy, the Cajun Cook? He does like a lot of. He does like a lot of crawfish broils.
Is that the guy that says "put it on a cracker"? Money dude.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I got him on Facebook.
Let's get it, dude.
Yeah, that was money.
While we wait, we hydrate. Yes, that guy. So Sean was talking about him, you know, like during our cautions. For some reason, it just Cajun just stuck in my head. So we start racing again, and I made the call from the green flag. I says, as we're coming in turn 3, we got him 3 wide, driving and diving, and good old jambalaya. And Sean's like, did you just think of that like right now? Is that new? I was like, yeah, that's new. Not realizing what I'd said. Then I went back and rewatched it, and I was like, huh.
Did you write that one down to make sure you have that?
Yes. I have that. I have that written down because it means like sometimes you got to think of stuff like Jerry Van Sickle. Doctor White Castles.
See, I can't be that creative. I'm more of like, so I think everyone has their different style.
Yes.
I can't just come up with some of the stuff that he says. I would have to practice that. So I'm more of like since I've come from radio, you know, when I'm doing football and basketball, it's more of a dry announcing, more stats based and just calling it. That's kind of my style. I don't necessarily do the extras like that per se. That's just necessarily not my style.
Right.
But the guys who can do that is a gift.
Well, see,
I can't do that.
That's the thing, though, with announcing is, I mean, you're getting into it. You're getting hyped yourself. And like you said, sometimes you say something and you don't even realize it.
Yeah. I just don't have, like, the one-liners. I don't know. I think the only one, it's probably not even that original. Like, if someone rear ends a deal, it's like, oh, that's a bump to the rump. That's a that's one I got.
And you're the only one I've ever heard that from, honestly.
Bump to the rump, yeah.
And I somehow coined the phrase tuck tail.
Tuck tail? There
Ask
you go.
me what that means. I don't know, but it just... So you got the tail of the car, and, you know, you got someone tucked in behind you, like going down the backstretch to maybe jump out of line, pull a slide or some. One of those days, it just all of a sudden came out. As they're going to come off turn 2, he's going to tuck tail behind him down the backstretch into turn 3. I was like, what did I just say?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sometimes it just comes right in the moment. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it does.
It's fun, though. Everyone has their own styles, you know?
Yeah.
I have, like most people, I mean, I go through every single car, every single track to see what they've done at every other track. I have a whole notebook of stuff, and half the stuff I don't even use at night, but it's just I try to do as much homework as I can.
You do a lot more homework than I do because I guess with me, I travel so much during the week. And
different
some of the
cars at different tracks, that's tough to keep
different cars, different tracks, but then again, at the same time, it's, you know, I know a few of the drivers that are at all of those tracks too. Yeah. So, oh no, now we're really in trouble.
We got 2 of them waiting in the wings right here, just ready to go.
We do. But it's, you know, so I know what they did, and it's still fresh in my mind. It's like, oh yeah, he was at this track last night, he got the win. Yeah. Boom, right there. Earlier in the week, he got a second place on Wednesday, and we're now on Saturday. So he's been at 3 different tracks this week where I've been at.
Well,
so
that helps. That helps.
Yeah.
I just have such a terrible memory. Like I have to have stuff written down on paper when I'm announcing.
But even with that, my race pass is a beautiful thing.
It is. That's the most. that's the announcer's biggest best friends.
Yes.
Live timing and scoring in my race pass or any sort of timing and scoring have probably been the biggest innovations in our sport since
Absolutely.
we started. And thank you for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're running at a half hour here now, so we should probably wrap this up because, like you said,
we got another
we've
half hour for the next one too. Probably
that's more like an hour and a half. You and I both know Jimmy. Jimmy likes to talk.
Jimmy and Anthony. Oh yeah.
And Nate, dearest mother Nate DeSivey is around here somewhere.
Umya. You got to give him an Umya. He always says that to me when I mess him on Facebook.
See, and that's the thing. He started doing the dearest mother updates on Facebook, so that's where I called it the first race of his that he won with me calling it. Right as he crossed the line, I said, "Dearest mother, I'm proud to tell you, Nate DeSivey has won your A feature."
There you go. Did you know he's going to stock car too this year?
Yes, I did.
That's big question number 1 right there.
He's got a brand new Fury chassis, and I'm sure you know Nate as well as we do. He is a very experimental guy.
Yeah.
When
Look
it
at
comes
his race
to
wraps, like they're like the wildest thing out there.
Yeah.
He's like, just do it.
That's why in 2020 he comes out with just a blue car. That's like, why?
Duct tape is always fast.
Yes, duct tape is always fast. Well, Ryan, thanks for coming on the show, man. Greatly appreciate it. Good luck in 2022, and we'll see you later on down the road.
Hey, thank you guys for driving 4 hours to come support a local race swap meet like this.
Yeah.
Talk to some of us down here, gives us some coverage, and we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Drive home safe.
So once again, that is Ryan Kumpf, one of the voices of US 30 Speedway, and a lot of other things too. The racing is basically his life.
It really is.
But Ryan is one of the awesome guys to know, and we could have kept talking.
Oh, yeah, that thing could have lasted for hours.
If it could have lasted for hours, indeed. Just a half an hour just with Ryan there. So, no. Ryan, good luck in 2022. Thanks for stopping by and talking with us. Greatly, greatly appreciated. We're going to take another quick break here and hear from Advantage Racing TV and AOK Photography. And just on the other side of that breaks, we've got some upcoming events that we want to talk about that we're looking forward to in 2022, especially one that Ryan talked about just in this interview previous year. So without further ado, we are going to go and hear from Advantage Racing TV and AOK Photography.
Advantage Racing TV is your source for local entertainment in the tri-state area. From compacts to late models and sprint cars, Advantage Racing TV has just what you need to cure your racing ailments. Check them out online at www.advantageracing.tv and take advantage of your racing addiction.
AOK Photography and Design is the place for all your photo needs. AOK does racing hero cards, blankets, canvas, racing sponsor photos, as well as other personalized items. Located out of Montevideo, Minnesota, they can get what you need at an affordable price. Check them out on Facebook for more information, and you'll find that their guaranteed service is AOK.
So we are back here on the Announcer Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics and Advantage Racing TV and AOK Photography and Design. Two great companies that do a lot for dirt track racing. So check them out. And like I said, a lot of great stuff, quality products. So go check them out today. Upcoming events here that we want to talk about that we're looking forward to in 2022. Evan, one event I know that you and I are looking forward to going to would be Boone Speedway in July.
I'm kind of excited for that.
I'm kind of excited too, not going to lie. We're headed to Boone Speedway for the Hawkeye 100 with the World of Outlaw Morton Buildings late models. It's going to be a fun show.
Oh, yeah.
Fun show indeed. I know I'm looking forward to the repairablevehicle.com Tri-State Late Model Touring Series. The whole show there is, the schedule looks great. Looking forward to it. And as well as just everything in general, I'm going to be on the road a lot. I thought I was busy last year. What was that we said at the top of the show? 2022 is going to be bigger and better than ever.
And we're going to turn it up to 11. So that's what you're doing.
Yes, that is for sure. One event that we do want to talk about as well as we will release this later on from the Dirt Crown Promotions. But another one near and dear to our hearts that you heard Ryan Kumpf talk about is the second annual Tanner Pelster Memorial at Boone County Raceway in Albion, Nebraska. Evan, you got it pulled up there, so I will let you take it away with that.
Like Scotty said, the second annual Tanner Pelster Memorial. It's going to be Sunday, July 10th. I do believe Ryan said we're starting at 6, I believe. Like last year, they started the pot out with, I think it was like $1,111 to pay out stock cars because that's what Tanner's ran. His number was 11T. So they just made it ones across the board. And by the end of it, I believe to win was like $5,111.
Yeah, just everyone that came together just to honor such a great man and the legacy that he unfortunately left behind is just really cool. And I think it's going to be better this year. I am hoping to make it. I really am.
I was there last year. Obviously, I was helping Stack.
Yep.
It brought tears in my eyes seeing that many
imagine.
people out there to honor. I'd call him a kid, but he's not a kid. A young man.
Yes.
That's life got cut short way too soon.
Yes. Absolutely. And I talked to Tanner a couple times from the times where he was racing at Off-Road Speedway when I was there announcing in 2020, but didn't really know him personally. Like a lot of people in the area of the Nebraska area did. So, yes, if you are available and looking for something to do on Sunday, July 10th, Boone County Raceway is the place to be for the Tanner Pelster Memorial.
Absolutely. Like Ryan talked about, he explained, most of what's going on. But like we said, they're turning that thing up to 11 also.
Yes. So definitely go check that out. And just here in 2022, go check out your local track. Bring a friend. They might like it, and maybe they'll bring a friend the next time too. Keep local racing alive. That's what Evan and I are all about here. And yes, we cannot wait to see you guys in 2022. Also, we have to give a quick shout out here before we forget to mention our friend Bailey. She made us a few stickers for the show here, and it literally does.
It's exactly us.
It's exactly our personalities.
So, these two, Bailey and Scotty, came up with this. Like, Evan, we got a sticker for you. It's like, okay, inform me, because who knows what you two can come up with.
We are not telling you what it is.
They wouldn't tell me. We see Bailey last night.
The smile that he got on his face when he seen it was...
So we seen Bailey last night. She goes, you ready to see the sticker? I was like... I guess we don't have any other choice, but let's see it. This thing is amazing.
and Bailey actually did some shirts for you as well.
Yeah, she did some shirts for me. Like I said, they were supposed to be made like a year ago. Some stuff came up. The guy couldn't do it for me. She stepped up. It's like, I'll do it. These things turned out great.
They turned out very well. And Bailey, we cannot say thank you enough. You will be having some more business in the future from us as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we cannot say enough about that. And yeah, looking forward again to 2022.
Yes, sir.
We want to say a big thank you to Ryan Kumpf and Bobby Lincoln for being on the show today. Always fun talking to you guys. And we want to say a big thank you to Matthew Broadus, Jerry Van Sickle, and Sean Neisted for helping out with the show each and every week. To the race fans who tune in every week as well, we could not do it without you. We thank you. And most importantly, thank you, veterans, for allowing us to and giving us the freedoms to do this each and every week. We could not do this without you as well.
And like I say, week in, week out, stay safe, have fun. We'll see you next week.
We will see you next week on the Announcer Booth Podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. Once again, what was your favorite moment in 2021? Look for the video on our socials, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Take care.